Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the vast expanse of time, navigating the intricate tapestry of human experience. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of one of the most pivotal events in modern American history, the assassination of JFK. As we delve into the origins of this tragedy, let us begin by setting the stage for the tumultuous era that gave rise to this fateful day. In the early 1960s, America was a nation in turmoil. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, with figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks leading the charge against racial inequality. The Cold War was at its height, with the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in an ideological struggle that would shape the course of global politics for decades to come. It was within this context that John F. Kennedy, the charismatic young president from Massachusetts, rose to power, promising a new era of hope and change. As we explore the historical background of the assassination of JFK, we find ourselves in the vibrant city of New Orleans, where Lee Harvey Oswald, the man who would eventually pull the trigger, was born on October 18, 1939. Oswald's early life was marked by poverty and instability, with his father, Robert Edward Lee Oswald Sr., passing away before he was even born. His mother, Marguerite Frances Claverie, struggled to make ends meet, moving from one low-rent apartment to another as she tried to provide for her son. In 1956, at the age of 17, Oswald dropped out of high school and joined the United States Marine Corps, where he served until 1959. During his time in the Marines, Oswald became increasingly fascinated with communism and the Soviet Union, even attempting to defect to the USSR in 1959. This ideological shift would later contribute to his involvement with various left-wing and anti-Castro groups. As we move to the summer of 1963, we find Oswald in New Orleans, where he became involved with the Fair Play for Cuba Committee, a pro-Castro organization that advocated for an end to the U.S. embargo on Cuba. It was here that Oswald distributed hands-off Cuba leaflets and engaged in heated debates with anti-Castro activists. The city's French Quarter, with its narrow streets and historic architecture, provided a unique backdrop for Oswald's burgeoning activism. Meanwhile, in Dallas, Texas, a different kind of drama was unfolding. The city's conservative establishment, led by figures like oil tycoon H.L. Hunt and media mogul Ted Dealey, was growing increasingly hostile towards Kennedy's liberal policies. In April 1963, just 7 months prior to the assassination, Kennedy had visited Dallas, where he was met with a mixture of enthusiasm and hostility. The city's newspapers, including the Dallas Morning News, had published scathing editorials criticizing Kennedy's policies, further fueling the animosity. As we explore the historical context of Oswald's involvement, we find that his associations with figures like Guy Bannister, a former FBI agent turned private investigator with ties to the CIA and anti-Castro groups, become particularly noteworthy. It is within these circles that the earliest whispers of conspiracy and discontent begin to emerge. The summer of 1963 proved pivotal in Oswald's journey towards the assassination. In June, he had moved to New Orleans, where he became increasingly radicalized by his associations with left-wing activists. The city's coffee shops and bookstores, like the famous Morning Call Cafe, provided a hub for intellectual debates and discussions about politics and philosophy. The intricate dance of politics, ideology, and individual motives has set the stage for a tragedy that will shake the foundations of a nation. And so, dear listeners, as we prepare to step into the next chapter of our exploration, let us carry with us the vivid images of 1960s America, the complex tapestry of its political landscape, and the haunting question: what forces, visible and invisible, contributed to the events that would unfold on that fateful day in November? Join me next as we delve into the heart of the assassination of JFK, navigating the tumultuous sea of its primary events and the profound impact they had on the world. Welcome back to our exploration of the assassination of JFK, as we delve into the heart of this pivotal event and navigate its primary events. We left off with Lee Harvey Oswald's journey towards radicalization, set against the backdrop of 1960s America, where politics, ideology, and individual motives were intricately intertwined. As we step into the autumn of 1963, the stage is set for a tragedy that will shake the foundations of a nation. On November 22nd, President John F. Kennedy's motorcade made its way through the streets of Dallas, Texas, where he was met with a mixture of enthusiasm and hostility. The city's conservative establishment had grown increasingly hostile towards Kennedy's liberal policies, and the atmosphere was tense. At 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, as the president's motorcade turned into Dealey Plaza, shots rang out from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building. Kennedy was struck by 2 bullets, one in the head and one in the neck, and Governor John Connally, who was riding in the car with him, was also injured. The president's limousine sped away to Parkland Memorial Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 1:00 p.m. The aftermath of the assassination was marked by chaos and confusion. Lee Harvey Oswald, who had been working at the Texas School Book Depository building, was later found and arrested at the Texas Theater, a movie theater in the Oak Cliff neighborhood of Dallas. 2 days later, on November 24th, as Oswald was being transported to the county jail, he was shot and killed by nightclub owner Jack Ruby, who had managed to get close to him. As the nation struggled to come to terms with the events that had unfolded, a wave of grief washed over America. Kennedy's funeral procession in Washington, D.C., was attended by thousands, and his burial at Arlington National Cemetery marked the end of an era. The outpouring of emotion was palpable, as people from all walks of life mourned the loss of a leader who had embodied hope and change. In the weeks and months that followed, the Warren Commission, established by President Lyndon B. Johnson to investigate the assassination, worked tirelessly to piece together the events surrounding Kennedy's death. The Commission's findings, which concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in shooting Kennedy from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building, have been the subject of much debate and controversy over the years. As we explore the historical context of the assassination, it becomes clear that the event was not just a singular act of violence, but rather the culmination of a complex web of factors. The Cold War, the Civil Rights Movement, and the ideological struggles of the time all played a role in shaping the narrative of Kennedy's presidency and the events that led to his death. In Dallas, the city where Kennedy was assassinated, the aftermath of the event had a profound impact on the community. The city's conservative establishment, which had been hostile towards Kennedy's policies, was shocked and saddened by the event. The Dallas Times-Herald, one of the city's major newspapers, published a front-page editorial apologizing for its previous criticism of Kennedy, stating that we were wrong, and we are sorry. As we reflect on the primary events surrounding the assassination of JFK, it becomes clear that this pivotal moment in American history was shaped by a complex interplay of factors. From the ideological struggles of the time to the individual motives of those involved, the event continues to fascinate and haunt us to this day. Join me next as we explore the aftermath of the assassination and examine the lasting legacy of John F. Welcome back to our exploration of the assassination of JFK, as we delve into the aftermath and lasting legacy of this pivotal event. In the months and years that followed Kennedy's death, the nation struggled to come to terms with the loss of a leader who had embodied hope and change. The Warren Commission's findings, released in September 1964, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in shooting Kennedy from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building. However, the report's conclusions have been the subject of much debate and controversy over the years, with many questioning the official narrative and speculating about potential conspiracies. In the aftermath of the assassination, President Lyndon B. Johnson worked to build on Kennedy's legacy, pushing through landmark legislation such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Great Society programs. However, Johnson's presidency was also marked by increasing unrest and division, particularly over the Vietnam War. As the years passed, the legacy of John F. Kennedy continued to evolve and take shape. In 1967, the JFK Presidential Library and Museum was dedicated in Boston, serving as a testament to Kennedy's enduring impact on American politics and culture. The library's archives have provided a wealth of information for historians and researchers, offering insights into Kennedy's presidency and the events that led up to his death. In the decades since the assassination, numerous investigations and inquiries have been conducted, including the Church Committee hearings in the 1970s and the Assassination Records Review Board in the 1990s. These efforts have shed new light on the events surrounding Kennedy's death, but many questions remain unanswered. Today, the assassination of JFK remains a topic of fascination and debate, with many continuing to speculate about the circumstances surrounding Kennedy's death. The event has also had a lasting impact on American politics and culture, influencing everything from the way presidents travel to the manner in which news is reported. As historian Arthur Schlesinger Jr. once noted, the assassination of John F. Kennedy was a traumatic event that shook the nation and changed the course of history. Indeed, the aftermath of the assassination marked a turning point in American politics, one that would have far-reaching consequences for the country and its people. In reflecting on the legacy of John F. Kennedy, it is clear that his presidency represented a moment of great hope and promise for America. Despite the tragic circumstances of his death, Kennedy's vision for a better future continues to inspire and motivate Americans to this day. As we conclude our exploration of the assassination of JFK, we are left with a profound sense of loss and a deep appreciation for the enduring impact of John F. Kennedy's presidency. His legacy serves as a reminder of the power of leadership and the importance of striving for a more just and equitable society. In the words of Robert F. Kennedy, who would go on to become a prominent figure in American politics in his own right, let no one be discouraged by belief that there is nothing one man or one woman can do against the enormous array of the world's ills, against misery, against ignorance, or injustice and violence. John F. Kennedy's life and legacy are a testament to the difference one person can make, and his memory continues to inspire us to work towards a brighter future for all. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.